choice. It's about the country that you want.
The choice could not be more stark.
Now, in this historic election,
2024 campaign is in full swing.
Through Donald Trump.
Kamala Harris.
Harris versus Trump.
Former President Donald Trump and Kamala Harris.
Trump has
Kamala.
Trump and Harris.
Former President Trump.
Kamala Harris.
Trump.
Kamala Harris.
Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
Kamala.
Trump.
Kamala Harris.
Who is Kamala?
Former President Donald Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Kamala Harris.
Vice President Harris.
Trump or Kamala? Trump.
Kamala. Kamala.
Trump or Kamala?
Kamala.
Trump or Kamala? Trump.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Trump or Kamala? Trump or Kamala?
Kamala. Kamala Harris.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump, man.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy CO the Source back with another episode of Unlocking Levels. Hope y'all doing well. Thank you so much for tapping in. It's always a pleasure to be able to bring y'all new episodes of this thing. You know what I'm saying? This is one of my greatest passions and joys is to be able to connect and build with y'all and just share a lot of game, a lot of the things that I've been kind of going through and I've learned from. And in today's episode, you know, we are currently in the midst of a crazy time, or what it seemingly feels like, you know what I mean? With the election right around the corner, just about 30 days away from where we're currently at right now, or even less. It feels like things are kind of cranking up on us. They definitely cranking the heat up on us. You see it everywhere, political propaganda all over the place, you know what I'm saying? All over social media, all over the news, the regular media. It's everywhere. It's in entertainment. It's so many different things kind of going on. And it feels like it's created so much divide, at least from my standpoint. I'm sure there's many of us that feel that type of way as well. And I really wanted to come on here and address a few things, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to really drive home a really strong point to all y'all, because in this state that we're in right now, where things are just being pushed on us and the media is really working overtime on trying to control our minds and try to influence us on who to vote for and who's evil, who's good, and this, that, and the third. And you're hearing all about these different catastrophic events going on around the world, and even right here within the confines of America. You know what I'm saying? Like we got a lot of stuff going on at home domestically, you know what I'm saying? So it feels like the heat is being turned up on us, and it is. So with this episode, I really wanted to just make sure that you are staying fully vigilant, fully aware. And everything I'm telling y'all, I'm talking to myself as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm always talking to myself first, really, when I'm telling y'all, because these are some of the things that I've started to understand about my life and what helps me experience this life in a much better way. And it's all about perspective, right? It's all about the perspective that you craft for yourself. And for me personally, you can easily get lost in the sauce, myself included. I tend to get lost in the sauce out here. And when I get lost in the sauce, sometimes it's really hard to pull yourself back out of that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you feel like you're under the control and under the influence of so many different opinions. And it's such a political machine that's so dangerous that can really just envelop your whole way of thinking and your whole way of life. And if they can get your way of thinking, if they can control your attitude and your perspective on things, then you're going to be easily controlled for other things. So again, just want to put this message out there. Stay vigilant at this time. Stay hyper aware of your emotions. Stay hyper aware of what's being told to you. And then try to develop your ability to see and read between the lines, because there's a lot of misinformation being spread out there for sure. And in a interesting way, everything that's going on right now is sort of a microcosm for life, because there's so much out there. Even though right now it feels like we're in a vacuum and everything just kind of is highly intensified right now because of the things that they're putting out there. But if you look at life in general, there's so much that you can get yourself into, so much you can learn about, so many different energies pulling you this way and that way. And if you're not careful, you can get swept up and again lost in the sauce. So it's really up to you to start to develop yourself from within so that you can be vigilant, so you can withstand some of these things, and you can hold your own opinion on things. You can hold your own perspective. You can create your own perspective on things. And when you're able to do that, it's really very much so a superpower. You're able to turn different scenarios and different situations and different kind of pictures that they try to paint, and you're able to flip it on its head and create it for yourself. And you can kind of sort of be your own alchemist in that regard. So one of the biggest messages I want to put out there for you in this episode really is to be your own president. You know, forget Trump, forget Kamala Harris, forget JD Vance, forget Tim Walz, forget any of these political people out there. Be the president of your own life. It doesn't matter who you vote for yourself. Make sure you're the president of your own life. Make sure you're the CEO of your own life, and you're moving your life forward in such a way that none of this matters, because at the end of the day, whatever's going to be is going to be, and you're still going to have to play this game the way it's kind of set. So understanding that all you really truly have control over in this life is yourself. So I'm urging and encouraging all of y'all, just like I'm encouraging myself, to be the CEO, be the president of your own life. Take ownership of your life. Understand what's important to you and move in that direction of purpose. And it's easy, like I said in this episode, to get swept up and caught up in the sauce, but make sure that you're hyper aware of that. Make sure you're doing your due diligence to make sure that you're informed correctly. So if you are voting, you're voting for who aligns with your perspective and your understanding of life and for what you want to happen in this country. And honestly, I will vote, you know, but at the end of the day, I kind of hold true to this understanding that I've held for a long time. At the end of the day, it's going to be what it's going to be, regardless of who I vote for or who the next person votes for. It's really outside of my control. The only thing you can control is what you select on that piece of paper, on that ballot, the day that you decide to vote. So you can't really control anybody else's. You can spend your life trying to influence people and spend your time and energy trying to influence people on, you know, why this candidate is better than this candidate and this, that, and the third. But ask yourself, really, is that really the most useful way you can actually utilize your energy and your time? And when I ask myself that, I think absolutely not, because that energy that you're giving out is so valuable. It's so extremely valuable. Your time, your energy, these are assets. These are assets that you can never get back. So if you're choosing to use it in that direction, hey, by all means, go ahead. I'm not going to argue you off that point. But at the same time, I just ask you to reconsider certain things, because your energy is so valuable. And if you're not really taking the energy for yourself and trying to make yourself a better person, then I personally think that's a misuse of energy and time, a misuse of your assets. But you know, some people make it their life's purpose to get into that political forum and really do their thing. You know what I'm saying? And they think that's going to make the biggest change for them in their life. And by all means, go right ahead. But for those of us that understand that the most important thing that you can control is oneself, then I think you totally understand this message that I'm trying to put out there for you. It should resonate. Regardless of who anybody votes for, be the president of your own life. Take ownership of your own life. That's the main message I want to put out there for you. And regardless of who wins, whatever the outcome is, you still got to wake up the next day and play this game. You know what I'm saying? Just play it to the best of your ability and play it to win. You know what I'm saying? Every single day, there's so many different things out there that we can get ourselves into, we can learn about, we can help ourselves expand so much further in this life so that we can elevate and win and unlock new levels. So with that being said, I want y'all to understand, like, at the end of the day, identify the players, you being one of them, and just elevate yourself to a status of like you experiencing life in the way that you want to experience it. Create the life that you envision for yourself, regardless of what's going on outside. Everything starts from within. And I just want to remind y'all of that. I want to remind myself of that. And honestly, I got to do better myself, you know what I'm saying? Because this machine, it's really strong. So I understand why it's easy to get swept up in the chaos and the madness of everything and feel like you have no control. But I'm here to remind you, you actually do have control. You have so much control. And that control really is over oneself. And once you wrangle yourself and wrangle your mind back to yourself, and you understand how to master yourself, you understand how to give yourself a command and follow that command, and you start to practice that, you start to get into the habit of doing that thing, you understand what you need to do and you know how to do it. But it's up to you to do it. Nobody else. It's not gonna be President Trump. It's not gonna be Kamala Harris. It's not gonna be none of these people that you see on TV and on the media that are gonna have any type of impact on your life outside of what they tell you. You still have real dominion over your life. You still have real control over your life. And once you understand that, and once you understand how to become autonomous in that way, man, the game really changes for you. That's what I'm starting to understand more and more with each day that I practice these different things. And each day I take the time to understand that more, to educate myself, to develop myself further. And once you understand that and you begin that process, you begin that journey to really, truly explore oneself and explore your limitless potential, man, the game truly opens up. It truly changes for you. And you take mastership of yourself. You learn to master yourself, you start to master the game. So that's the main message I wanted to drive home today, man. I hope y'all are doing well. I plan to be doing a lot more. I got a lot more time on my hands. And I'm much more committed. I'm already looking into 2025, wrapping up the season here, wrapping up 2024 as a whole. I'm looking already at what I'm going to accomplish in 2025. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting the plans in place and putting some plans together and mapping everything out. But I'm really excited about what's going on in my life currently and what's to come. So, you know, with that being said, stay tuned. I appreciate all y'all. Thank you for staying tapped in. And as always, make sure to follow me on all social media platforms for the latest updates to this podcast, to this brand, what I'm going to be doing. That's where I'll be most active in sharing a lot of information about what types of moves I'll be making and things of that nature. And that's the best way to keep up with me, y'all. So thank you so much for your commitment of time and really locking in with me. I hope that a lot of what I said landed. I hope all of it landed, to be honest with you. And just to reiterate my point from this specific episode, be the president of your own life. It don't matter who's in office next year. Be the president, be the CEO of your own life. You own your life. You control your life. Gain ownership of your life again, and don't keep giving it away to mindless distractions. And these are things I tell myself constantly as well. So I'm with you on that. I'm learning how to master that. And together we will continue to unlock new levels, y'all. Thank you for everything, y'all. Peace and love.